So today's video is a little bit different. Instead of breaking down a play, we're going to do more of a coaching points video. What we're going to do is look at how to run an outbreaking route as a wide receiver against tighter man coverage. And although this video focuses on running an outbreaking route, some of the points that we're going to cover can also apply to other routes that receivers run in the passing game. For this video, we're going to take a look at an 18-yard out that Zay Flowers ran during the divisional round of the playoffs against the Texans at home. And if you're a young receiver, you're going to want to study how he runs it and go ahead and incorporate what he does into your own game to be a more effective wideout. Okay, so here we go. This is going to be the route run by Zay Flowers, who I'm circling at the bottom. We're just going to run the play as a refresher for you guys so you can remember the route exactly. They talked about it on the broadcast. And you can see in and out, catch, first down. We're just going to use the sideline view because realistically, that is the best view to see this. From the end of it, you're not going to see the route. So there's really 4 points that I would like to talk about when it comes to this particular route being run by Zay Flowers against Derek Stingley Jr. And we're going to go over those 4 points. And again, like I said, these can apply to you running other routes if you're a young wide receiver. And the first thing that we're going to point out is alignment, okay? Zay Flowers' alignment on this particular play for running this route. And if you notice where he's aligned, he's at the bottom of the numbers. Now, the bottom of the numbers is 12 yards from the sideline. So he's giving himself a lot of space, 12 yards worth of space, so that when he makes his break, Lamar Jackson can throw it out there, and there's enough space for him to catch it before he hits the sideline. So by alignment, he is helping himself out to have more space to run this route. And it's important to note he is not out here. If he's out there, less space, right? He's going to have less space to run, to break to the outside, less space for Lamar Jackson to lead him into it, to make the catch. And he's also not too far inside. Imagine if he goes too far inside, the defense might think, okay, there's something, he's going to be running an outbreaking route because of how tight he is. Instead, by being at the bottom of the numbers, he keeps it plausible that he could be running other routes. So, for example, he could be running a shallow from this point. He could be running an over from this point. He could be running a post from this alignment. And we know that he actually runs the out route. But these are all things that could be done just by that alignment. He's helping himself out, but he's not giving away the route that he's going to be running. And notice the ball is near to him, so he's really kind of narrowed it down as well to allow himself that much space. It's a really good job. So first things first, alignment. And if you're a young receiver, say that you were running an outbreaking route like this. This is this stuff that I would expect you to kind of look at and go, okay, let me align to help myself and my quarterback out. If you're running a vertical go route, maybe be a little bit tighter towards the ball, not too much, because what I see is I sometimes will see wideouts that are way over to the sideline. Then when they run their out route, they get pushed to the outside and there's no space and the quarterback can't put it into any window for them to catch the ball because they've not helped themselves and the quarterback out. So first coaching point, alignment, okay? Help yourself out. This is what Zay Flowers does here, especially for running this outbreaking route. He is aligned appropriately to give himself enough space to even start out with, okay? The second point is going to be his release. And what I want you to notice is where Derek Stingley Jr. is aligned. Notice he is aligned over Zay Flowers to Flowers' outside shoulder. So when Flowers releases, he really shouldn't be going to the outside release. If he goes to the outside release, well, that takes away from the 12 yards that he's created for himself by his alignment. In addition, Stingley Jr. is going to go ahead and push him to the outside and ride him to the outside. And then his hips are open exactly where Zay Flowers is going to want to run the route. And so if he's pushing Zay Flowers to the outside, now that space and that window is not as wide. He can react a little bit quicker because his hips are already turned to the outside. Derek Stingley Jr., the cornerback, his hips are a little bit are open to the outside. He can break on the ball quicker as well. So instead, as you saw, Flowers comes inside release, okay? Again, he's influencing his defender. By going inside, what does Stingley have to do? He has to open his hips to the inside. So Stingley's going to open his hips to run because he doesn't know exactly the route that Zay Flowers is running. And when Zay Flowers runs it, notice he comes inside and then he presses and he gets vertical up the field a few yards inside, like a yard or two inside of the top of the numbers. Now he's helped himself by releasing inside and staying vertical and pushing vertical on his release. He's helped himself gain a few more yards for the breakout. So let's go ahead. Let's run that part of it right now, the release, so you guys can see. Notice how he comes inside. He's coming inside. We get the hips of Derek Stingley Jr. opening to the inside because he's going to run with him because he doesn't know where he's going. He might be going on the over route, like I said. Now notice, push vertical. He's not just continuing to drift to the inside. Now he's pushing and he's getting vertical up the field. He's pushing and fighting any contact by Stingley from pushing him off track and drifting. He's not going to drift. He's going to stay vertical. He's come to the inside. He's getting vertical up the line. He's creating more yards, more space for when he breaks to the outside. So his release, he's influencing the defender here to go exactly where he wants him to go, which is hips inside, eyes inside. Now he's pushing vertical. He's now got the cornerback exactly where he wants him to be because, hey, we're going to be running an outbreaking route. So release here is extremely good because he's helping out himself to have more yards, to break to the outside. He's not getting washed to the outside, and he's going to be influencing the defender over him, the cornerback, that his hips are going to be turned outside so that when the time comes and Zay Flowers breaks to the outside, Stingley has to stop and spin and turn. Instead of having his hips already open to the sideline, he's got to stop and then turn, which takes a little bit extra time. When you run these routes, okay? So that's the second part. The second coaching point, your release, okay? Help yourself out. If you're going on an outbreaking route, help yourself out by releasing inside. Don't get pushed down too far, but release inside, fight with pressure, get vertical, and help yourself out, okay? And you can do this even if you're going inside to release, but you're trying to influence the defender. You kind of want to get those hips turned. So if I'm running an outbreaking route and I'm doing that, okay, great. Now, if I'm running an over route, maybe I do the same thing. I'm going to press a little bit and then break away. We're trying to influence the defender by our route. So release right here, really good. And that's why I wanted to highlight it, okay? Now let's get to the third thing. And this is where it's really important. Let's come up. So now Zay Flowers is running, and he's coming to the point where he is going to need to break down. And what you're going to see, okay, let's see if I can do it right for you guys, is he's going to come, and he's going to stop, and he's basically going to get his weight right over his knees. He's going to give a little love tap to guide the cornerback right by him, and then break to the outside. So he's running full speed, and he's coming, and he's breaking down, push. Now he's going to break to the outside at full speed, okay? So let's go ahead. I'll fast forward to that part for you guys. The breakdown. This is the coaching point 3. So let's break down. See how he's doing this in one fell swoop. I noticed I kind of stopped and I'm kind of showing it. He's doing it in one fell swoop because that's what he's worked on. There's drills where you run between cones and you come down and you work on breaking down, getting that weight. So now he's pushing a little bit, giving a little love tap. Defensive back coaches hate it. Defensive backs hate it. Okay? But he's giving a push to allow Stingley to go by him. And now once that happens, he's going to break to the outside. Okay? Notice Stingley's gone too far downfield. Now he's got to open his hips. He's got to chase. He's out of position. Okay? So let's go back a little bit here to the breakdown. Okay, so far, release. We've got alignment, release, break. Okay, it's basically a break. And he's breaking in another out. Bam. Okay, see how fast he's doing it? He's not wasting a lot of motion. It's down, push, out. Okay, in fact, let's try and go a little bit more. I'm going to try and go really slow for you guys so we can see. Okay, notice, see how he comes down, gets that weight. Now he's pushing, giving a little tap, and he's starting to break by. Okay. And by doing this, notice that Stingley's going right by, and now he's out of the break. Stingley's going to have to spin, turn, whereas compared to what Flowers is doing, Flowers is breaking to the outside, and he's already gone. And then that brings us to our fourth part, coaching point of this route. Instead of just staying straight down the line like this, Flowers is going to come kind of drifting down or kind of work his way back down the line like this. And because he does that, he is cutting off any chance in case the cornerback is able to really quickly readjust and come back. He's not going to be able to cut off underneath and intercept the ball. He's cutting down the space between the defensive back and himself to the sideline to the throw. So when it all puts together, and let me go ahead and erase it right here. Notice how he's coming, working his way back down. He's working himself towards the ball. He's not waiting. Okay. Now remember, if he had stayed on the line, where's the cornerback? Cornerback's not that far behind him, but because he works his way back towards the ball, there's no chance for the cornerback to even have a chance to undercut it. Okay. So let's go back a little bit. If instead Flowers had stayed down the line like this, look where Stingley is driving. He's driving right here. He might be able to still dive and get his hand in there. Not necessarily going to happen, but this takes away any chance of it because he's working towards the ball and it's a first down and it's really well done. Okay, so there's the four elements of a route running. Okay, so let's go back to the beginning. Again, alignment, right? We talk about alignment, setting yourself up. Then we talk about release, helping yourself, breaking in and out of the route, the top of the route, the breaking in and out at the top of the route, and then really helping yourself out by, as you're finishing it off, not necessarily staying back or drifting backwards, but coming back down the line towards your quarterback, in a sense, towards where the ball is being thrown to cut off any chance for the defender to undercut you. This is clinic worthy. Okay. Again, if you're a young receiver, this is exactly what I would want you to see. And let's go ahead and take a look at it at a little bit tighter view. Okay. So you guys can see exactly. Here we go. Right, press up. Bam. Notice how quickly he gets his hands. He gets in and out of that route, okay? So again, we've got our tight alignment, inside release. Notice getting the weight down. He's giving the little love tap. Out. No chance for the corner to come back and even get in on the play. First down. Young receivers, if you do what Zay Flowers does on this particular route, let's say that you're running an out route and you incorporate these elements, you will be an extremely good receiver. And if you incorporate these types of elements in other routes, let's say that you were wanting to run an outbreaking route, an in-breaking route, let's go ahead and go out here, okay? Let's go back to this one. Let's say that instead, Zay Flowers is running an in-breaking route, okay? He would wrong color here. He would run and he would work outside, then push, and then work inside, okay? Instead of coming inside, he's going to work to really widen the spacing between the defenders so that there's more of a window for that throw for the ball to come inside, okay? So these are things that you can apply. Again, young receivers or any receiver that's wanting to really improve their game, study how Zay Flowers ran this route. Slow this down if you want to, okay? Again, I'm going to run it one more time full speed so that if you want to just slow it down and see it, you can go ahead. Hold on a second. Let me get to the right spot. If you really want to see it in full speed, there you go. Okay? And we'll run it one more time from the tighter angle so you can see just how good it was. I recommend every receiver study this. This is stuff that I learned when I was coaching at Snow to work with tight ends and wide receivers. Really, when you do this type of stuff, it really helps out your passing game, makes your passing game a lot more effective. And I'm telling you right now, there were kids who were not necessarily going to be Division I players that were beating Division I cornerbacks at Snow College because they were able to run routes perfect like this, and they were able to get open because of the technique that they use. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. Again, to me, this is a great video for coaching points of how to run an out-breaking route against tighter man coverage, and really can be incorporated. Ideas from this can be incorporated into other routes that you run as well. We're going to be going over more stuff like this with the offseason to help out young players to become better wide receivers, how to run routes better, things like that. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to leave a like. Let me know your thoughts down below. If you're enjoying these type of content, please make sure to subscribe. We'll see you next time. I do want to give a shout out to all of our members of this channel, especially those at the booster member or above. You're seeing their names scroll across the screen here on this video. If you wish to have your name in a video just like this, make sure to join as a member at this particular level of booster and above. All members, however, get early access to any video before it goes public. If you wish to have early access to a video, make sure to sign up at the fan level or above. We'll see you next time.